Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and we are back for the month of September here in this Mariners franchise. So hit that like button, and we start out the month of September winning every other game, and that's the kind of inconsistency we've had all season. But we do actually make a mistake here. I actually accidentally sim past the AA playoffs. I knew they were in the playoffs, but I wanted to play maybe a couple of games in the first series, but we end up dropping 2 of 6 games and we go home. So some of our AA players do move up to the MLB roster for September call-up, so we do get to see guys like Justin Sheffield or Max Posey, even Kyle Lewis as well. I'm not sure how much they'll play because I am trying to push for the playoffs here, but we want to get some bodies in there, especially pinch running, because we have speed in our minor league system, not much necessarily at our major league level except for Malik Smith and D. Gordon. So now we hop into the next series here versus the Houston Astros, and we have actually had the Astros number this year. They just had everybody else's number. As you see, they get a late home run, and this one goes into extras as Domingo Santana's up. He can't do anything. We have Diekman on the mound trying to get us through these extra innings, and we do finally get 2 on the board, and then another 2. So we end up scoring 4 in that 11th inning there, and we end up winning that game. Like I said, we've had the Astros numbers pretty much all year. So just looking at our DL here, Vogelback, I really hope that he's not done for his career because that is a career-ending injury in this game. Kyle Seager is coming back in a couple weeks. I'm not sure if he'll make the postseason roster, actually. And then Jake Fraley is hurt as well. He probably won't be at the MLB level just because, you know, it's the end of his season, so I don't really need him, so I'm probably not going to. I don't think he's actually on the 40-man roster, so I don't even think he would be there anyway. So we are going up against a pretty solid team, I'd say. We have Felix Hernandez on the mound, and we are facing the Cincinnati Reds. We haven't really faced them at all, so I thought this would be an intriguing series to play. Then they have Tyler Mahle on the mound, and he's got a 1.80 whip. I mean, how is he still in the rotation with that high of a whip? And he's not having the greatest of seasons. His strikeout to walk ratio, I mean, it's not great, but it's not horrible. But, man, that whip is just bad. I mean, that's just bad. So looking at the Cincinnati lineup, they do have a couple of guys like Winker. He's been in the news lately with this series versus the Mets getting tossed from that game. And it's going to be kind of interesting playing this team. We don't get to play many NL teams, especially not from the Central. I like playing the Brewers, especially because I am from Milwaukee. So it's just an intriguing matchup versus another Central team. So here Felix Hernandez is looking good early, this time facing Joey Votto, who's hitting 285 on the season. And look at the replacement from Vogelback. Wow, that's going to be Yonder Alonso at first, making the play there, going all out for the playoffs. So here is Mitch Haniger at the plate here in the bottom of the first inning. He starts it out with the hit to the right side, and I still love Haniger. He's just having a down year, in my opinion. I've said this before, and I think that he's going to bounce back in a big way next year, and we'll see what he does come down the stretch in September. So we do get a walk from Domingo Santana. Here is Yonder Alonso hitting in that 4 spot in the place of Vogelback, and he does strike out at the heater right over the middle. So up comes Tim Beckham here in this 5-hole. He hits one hard to the shortstop, and that one is going to be a ground out, but the throw is off. So base is loaded here. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. That seems to happen a lot for Tim Beckham. So here's Echeverria to the plate, hitting 240 on the season, a 2-2 count. He's going to hit one hard to Scooter Gennett, who is going to slide and knock that one down, and they're going to get the out at first base and get out of that inning with no damage done. So on to the top of the 4th inning. Hernandez is not giving up any runs, but here's Joey Votto at the plate. 3-2 count with 1 out, and that one is belted to right center, and that one is not coming back. That's a homer, and Cincinnati is going to take the 1-0 lead here in the 4th. I think the struggle with our rotation is that our 3, 4, and 5 guys have not been consistent. If we can get even a consistent number 3 guy, I think we would be better than what we are right now. I think we're kind of in the boat that the Mariners were in last year. They were actually over 500, and I think it's like that kind of situation with the Rays. Like, you're not good enough to really be in the playoffs, but you're good enough to compete, and that's what we're doing. But I want to be good enough to make the playoffs and to have a good farm system. I want to have it all. So we do get into more trouble here in the fourth. Guys on first and second. Matt Kemp at the plate. He hits a tapper back to the pitcher. Felix Hernandez is going to throw that one to first for the easy out. So now they got 2 outs here in the inning with guys on second and third. And here is Suarez at the plate. 0 for 1 up to this point, and he's going to hit one deep. And Eugenio Suarez is going to take that one to right field. And that one isn't coming back. That's a home run. He's got some pop to his bat. And he's got his 15th home run of the season. I think that might be kind of the lowest mark that he's had in the last couple years. He's been hitting home runs left and right the last couple years. So here we do finally get out of the inning, striking out Nick Senzel at the plate. And this game moves to the bottom of the fifth. Here's Malik Smith at the plate. He's going to hit one to left field, and that's going to be a single as he's going to round first kind of hard, but he's going to stay put at first base here with 1 out in the inning. So that's going to bring up Mitch Haniger. 1 for 2 in this game so far. He's going to swing and miss at a fastball. He can't keep up to the fastball on that one. So now there's 2 outs in the inning. Domingo Santana up at the plate. He hits one hard to right field. That one is past the first baseman. And Malik Smith is going to try the arm, but no, he thinks twice about that when he stays put at second base. So now guys on first and second here with 2 outs. Can Yonder Alonso come through for us? He hits one down the left field line, and that one is going to drop in there. Malik Smith comes around to score, and Yonder Alonso with that 3-speed is barely going to make it into second base with a double that time on the pop-up slide. So now we're on the board for the first time at home. So here with 2 outs, here's Tim Beckham at the plate. 2-2 count. He's going to swing at one out of the zone and somehow gets enough wood on it. And that gets to center field. And look at Alonso. He is going to make it home. Tim Beckham, take a look at this swing. That ball is way out of the zone. We had no business swinging at that. And he just gets enough wood on it and hits it to center. I don't know how he does it, but Tim Beckham is having himself a spectacular year. I did not expect that from him at all. So here's Amir Garrett coming into relief here to close out this inning, and he throws one right at Echeverria. So now we got guys on first and second. This inning does continue here with our best average hitter, Omar Narvaez at the plate, hitting .330. Can you believe it? Omar Narvaez hitting .330, and he's popping up to left field and getting out of this inning, and that is going to end it here in the 5th inning. So up comes Suarez here in the 7th inning. A slow tapper to third base. That one's going to be foul. He's already went deep once. Facing Chasen Bradford. He gets a pitch to hit, and he's going to take that one to opposite field. And Eugenio Suarez is going to be on the board once again for his 2nd home run of the day. And he makes this a 5-3 game. So here in the top of the 9th inning, he comes up one more time, and he gets another one. 3 home runs in this game. Insane. Suarez has just taken over as he's got 5 of the 6 RBIs in this game for Cincinnati, and Strickland can't believe it. Suarez is just taking this one home by himself, and they take the 6-3 lead. So now we got the bottom of the 9th inning. Can we come back in this game down 3 runs? D. Gordon at the plate, starting us off with the hard hit to third base. That's Suarez, and he gets the out at first base, making it 1 out in the inning. So here comes Malik Smith up to the plate. He's going to hit a blooper to left field, but that's going to be caught here. And now there's 2 outs in the inning. Mitch Haniger is our last hope. He's going to get a hanger over the middle, and that one is going to be a line out up the middle, caught by the shortstop, and it's going to be a 6-3 loss here as Eugenio Suarez. I mean, wow, 3 for 4. Maybe we got to check him out. I know he's in the upper 20s. I think he's like 28, maybe 29. But he's got some pop to his bat. So we do end up quick managing the next game, just seeing what we can do. We have Marco Gonzalez on the mound, so I'm guessing that this should possibly be a victory. But here Cincinnati is getting off to a good start, so we actually have to pull our main man Gonzalez. We don't really do that too much, but here Cincinnati continues to put runs on the board. 6-2, 9-2, and they just don't stop. We put in Alias, 11-2. And we just do not come back from this. And we end up losing this one 11-2. Wow. So the Reds come into our own building and lead this series 2-0 as we're trying to make the playoff push. And I don't think they're even close to the playoffs as we hop into the 3rd game of this series and we're just trying to save face and compete. I mean, that's all we can do. So here comes Iglesias. We're going to hop into this game late in the game here, and he's coming on for the save here in the bottom of the ninth in the third game of this series. Here's Malik Smith with a pitch to hit, but that's right to the center fielder. Hit it right on the screws, but that's an easy out for the center fielder. So here's Mitch Haniger at the play. 1 for 3 in this game. He hits one up the middle. That one actually bounces off the bag, and it's fielded, and Mitch Haniger just has enough speed to beat that one out with 62 speed. We got really lucky on that. So the game kind of tricked me here. They said, hey, want to bring in a pinch runner for Mitch Haniger? I'm like, yeah, I do. So I go to our substitutions here, look at the fastest guys. Braden Bishop is probably one of our fastest guys in our organization, but I didn't notice it. They didn't have the pinch runner selected. So we actually have Braden Bishop pinch hitting for Domingo Santana. What a blunder. So now he gets a ground ball to shortstop, but the shortstop can't handle it. So wow, we get lucked out. We sub out one of our best hitters, Domingo Santana, and we still do get on base with the error. So here comes Yonder Alonso at the plate. He's swinging at one in the dirt on a 2-strike count, and that does advance the runner to third. We do actually sub in another runner. We put in, I believe that's Kalenic at third base. So now with 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, Tim Beckham at the plate. A base hit possibly wins this game with a speedy guy on second. So here's a pitch in the dirt. He swings at it, and we're going to send the runner home. And look at this. We're going to get tagged out. Bruh. What a way to end this game. Iglesias tags out our runner on that one. That's Kalenic. And that's going to do it. The Cincinnati Reds come into our building and sweep us. Wow. Did not see that coming at all. And they take this one 2-1 off of just 6 hits. So now here is our standings here. We sit here at 76 and 71, 5 games back of the wild card. And looking at our remaining schedule, we have the White Sox, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Baltimore Orioles here in a 9-game stretch. So now we do go on to the next series. Here is a homer from Mitch Haniger, showing some clutch there. And we do have Mike Leake on the mound, but he gives up a home run right back. So what I want to do in this series is basically just score runs, because we've had a problem with scoring runs in games consistently. We've been winning games, close games, but not at a consistent rate. We've been pretty much having 2-1 victories, 3-0 victories, 3-1 victories. And then we'll have like a game where it's like we're losing a 9-2, 10-2. It's like so inconsistent. So just hopping into this quick manage here, we do have Mike Leake on the mound. He's pitched 8 innings up to this point, so I'm just going to pull him out. I know he is getting tired, but we do end up going to the 9th inning. Santo Ivalala is on the mound, and look at the White Sox. Bases loaded here, so we got to change pitchers here, and we just look at our bullpen, just seeing who we have here coming out of the bullpen. So we decide to put in Diekman. And Diekman is kind of one of our best options here, but he gives up a sac fly, and look at this, 3-run score there in the 9th. Wow. So Chicago with 13 hits, they go on to win this game. That's just crazy. Leury Garcia, who we actually had last year in MLB The Show 18, he goes 2 for 4 in this game. He goes deep, and he has 2 RBIs. So now we hop into the next game. Yusei Kikuchi on the mound for us. Echevarria at the plate. And he's going to actually, I believe he drove in 2 that time. And actually, he didn't get the hit. But we did get 2 runners aboard in that inning. We got them to score. So now we move into the 5th inning. We do have a little bit of life here. We're getting 3 runs on the board, helping Kikuchi out a little bit. And sometimes Kikuchi is all over the place. Sometimes in Sims, he wins games. Sometimes he does like this. He's like pretty much flawless. Look at this. 2 hits given up to this point. So now here he is in the 9th inning. Still going. He gives up a run. But we decide to keep going with him. And he wins it. What a game. 9 innings pitched. 10 strikeouts. Only 2 walks. And only 4 hits. I mean, that is just amazing. So then we end up dropping 2 or 3 in that White Sox series. We end up losing the last game. But then we end up sweeping the Pittsburgh Pirates on the road. And then we have some more better news. We win 2 of 3 versus Baltimore. So now looking at the standings, we are still 7 games back from the division. Look at the Astros. They went on a tear. 9 straight games, 89 and 67. They just went on a run. and just beat up on whoever they were playing. And look at us here. We're still 4 games back from this AL wildcard spot. And that is going to be a challenge because we need to depend on the White Sox to lose. They played Detroit and Cleveland to end the season. Cleveland's a tough opponent, but we can't count on them to lose versus Detroit. And then just looking at our ending schedule, we do have Houston and then Oakland. But the good thing is these are all home games, but the White Sox have all home games. So we really need to beat up on Oakland. They are still ahead of us, but if we do a good job versus them, we could possibly make a move at that White Sox position there in the last spot. So we do decide to go with our man, Eric Thames, the last 6 games here, at least in this series. I want to see what he can do. And I'm sick of kind of playing the Houston Astros, so I wanted to kind of quick manage this game. But I wanted to give Thames a chance. And look at him. He's 1 for 1 in this game. And look at us. We're getting on the board here in the 3rd inning, taking the 4-2 lead. And then we get a solo home run from Alex Smith. And then a back-to-back jack. Mitch Haniger, take a look at this. We are rolling with a 6-2 lead here in the first game of this 2-game set. And we get another run. Wow, anytime we pitch Carlos Rodon, it seems like we just give him the run support. I wish we would give that same run support to guys like Marco Gonzalez because it seems like he just has to duel it out versus the opposing number 1. But we do end up pulling Rodon here in the 7th inning. We put in Tui Valala, who has just been amazing, and we score another run, making it 8-4. So now in the bottom of the 8th, Eric Thames, look at him, 2 for 4. He gets a hit in that inning. So on to the top of the 9th. We have a decision to make. Do we keep Tui Valala in? I decide to do it. He gets 2 outs, and he gets 3. So we get the 8-4 victory versus the Astros. It won't affect them because they're pretty much in the lead, and they're probably going to clinch the division. But we get the win. So now we go into this last game of this 2-game set. 5 games left in the series. Mike Leake is scheduled to pitch, but I have a decision to make. Do I put in somebody else? Because I don't trust Mike Leake here. He's 7-12, not really reliable. I decide to actually scroll down a little bit, and I decide to put in the rookie, Justice Sheffield. He hasn't pitched yet this year at the MLB level, but this is going to be fun. I want to see what he's got. Does he have the guts to get this victory here versus the Astros at home? Let's check it out. So we do decide to one last time put in Eric Thames instead of Yonder Alonso at first base. I want to see how well this will work out. Maybe I'll end up, I don't know about keeping Eric Thames in the offseason, but let's see what he's got. So here we are. We get the early first run of the game here in the 1st inning. And Justice Sheffield, he gets through the first 2 innings with only 2 hits given up. So now he's on the mound once again, getting through the 3rd. On to the 4th. He gets through the 4th. So we end up getting to the 5th inning. It's still a 1-0 game, and we haven't been able to get many base runners aboard at all. We have 5 hits up to this point. We haven't been able to get past 1 run either. But Justice Sheffield is going the distance. Runner on second, but he gets thrown out on the steal. So now we move to the 8th inning. Justice Sheffield still on the mound. He gives up a single. Okay, so it's 1-0. We got to go to our closer here. I don't think there's any question. We put in Anthony Swarzak. So he gets the 1st out, gets the 2nd. He gives up a single. But then he gets the 3rd out. A 1-0 victory here versus the Astros. Could it be an epic comeback here to end this season? Justice Sheffield, 8 innings pitched. He gave up 7 hits, but 5 strikeouts, no runs given up. So wow, we are at the end of this season. 4 games left, and we're chasing Oakland. Wow, I would have never thought that it would come down to this, but looks like the Astros did clinch the division, 89-69. But look at this. We're dead even with the Athletics. And as we move over to the AL wildcard, I mean, we're still in it. 2 games back. And wow, we know the Detroit Tigers go against the White Sox in the last 4 games, in 3 of the last 4. So hopefully the Cleveland Indians do beat them. But really, it's going to come down to this Athletic series. Do we have the guts to sweep them? I mean, we probably have to win all 4 games because we're banking on the White Sox to lose and for us to win. And we got to take all 4 games. So this last episode is going to highlight that last series. I don't know if we're going to make the playoffs or not. I don't know. We need a lot to break our way, but the White Sox have already lost 4 straight. So we're on the right track. So you don't want to miss next episode. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Season 1 will come to a close, at least the regular season. So stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.